Welcome and Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us. Tonight we're reading a story that is a special giveaway. If you leave a comment in the comment section, you can win this book. Tonight's book is called My Special Christmas Adventure. My Special Christmas Adventure. This book was especially written for Michael Boggs with love from Grandma. This book is written by Julia Wilson and Margaret Gibson, illustrated by Ester Kasepuu. It was Christmas Eve. The green Christmas tree stood tall and wide, covered with sparkling tinsel. Bright ornaments gleamed from it, and at the very top was a beautiful angel. On the mantelpiece above the fireplace was a piece of cake and a glass of milk. It was time for bed, but Michael Boggs sat wondering when Santa Claus would visit him at 910 8th Avenue, North, Great Falls. He gazed at the beautiful tree as he had decorated with Uncle Jason, Aunt Tia, and Grandma. Shining baubles, tiny animals, Father Christmases, golden bells, and silver stars reflected the flames from the fireplace. The whole room seemed magical. Michael looked up at the Christmas angel on the tree and asked, "My Christmas angel, how does Santa bring presents to children in so many places all over the world?" Fluttering her fine golden wings, the angel said, "Dear child, there are many different ways Santa delivers presents. Would you like to help him this year? He's always needing helpers." And as she spoke, thousands of glittering stars shot from her fingertips and filled the room. Michael was so surprised that he could not speak, so he nodded his head. He felt himself being gently lifted among the glittering stars, and seconds later he was standing in the workshop of Santa Claus. Hundreds of tiny elves were busily wrapping Christmas presents. There were little presents, big presents, long, round, and oddly shaped presents. At one end of the workshop, a huge sleigh was being filled with more presents. A door opened and in came Santa Claus himself. "Hello, Michael," he smiled. "I'm so pleased to see you." "How do you know my name?" asked Michael. "I know all about you," said Santa. "I even know that you were born on the 6th of December. You are my special helper this year, and I want you to help me deliver all these presents to children around the world," said Santa, climbing into his sleigh. The elves pushed the sleigh out onto the crisp white snow and harnessed the waiting reindeer. Hovering nearby was the Christmas angel. Michael ran through the doorway and called, "Wait, Santa! Is there really room for me?" Santa nodded and helped him into the sleigh. "Could Uncle Jason, Aunt Tia, and Grandma come with me?" he asked. "Not tonight, Michael," replied Santa. "This is your special adventure." The reindeer were stamping their hoofs and snorting with impatience. Santa grasped their reins and called. You all know it. "Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen." Their antlers glistened with snowflakes. The 8 reindeer ran swiftly across the snow. Faster and faster they ran, until very smoothly and gently they began climbing into the starry sky. As the huge sleigh lifted from the snow, Michael felt as though he was flying to the moon. Did you know that the United Kingdom is quite close to my workshop? Cried Santa, who was now wearing very curly whiskers. Look down there. Far beneath them was the tall Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square, London. Each Christmas, Santa said, the people of Norway send a tree as a gift to the people of England. As they flew towards the roofs and chimneys, Michael could see the sparkling lights on the tree. Here, children also call you Father Christmas, said Michael, and you will find stockings to fill. Santa disappeared in each house and filled the children's stockings. Not a moment to lose, he called, jumping into the sleigh as it took off again. They flew across Holland without stopping. I delivered their presents on Santa Claus Eve, explained Santa. Every 6th of December, I visit on my white horse with my helper, Peter. All the people welcome me and call me Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas. All Europe twinkled with candles lit to welcome friends and strangers. The reindeer and sleigh gently landed in Sweden. Now I will be very busy, said Santa. Here I am the tomten, and I go from house to house. Knock, knock. It's the tomten. Are there any kind and good children here? As each door opened, he handed presents to the children. They flew on. As they neared Germany, the Christmas angel whispered to Michael, now it's my turn to help Santa. Leaving a trail of sparkling stars, she flew down, down, down. Where is she going? Michael asked Santa. Santa smiled and said, she is the Chris kind. She flies through the windows and rings a silver bell, warning the children to go to bed. While they sleep, she fills their empty soup bowls with fruits and sweets for them to find on Christmas morning. What a busy night. Soon they were flying high over Santa's home at the North Pole to deliver presents to the children of the United States. The only sounds that Michael could hear were the swoosh of the sleigh and the jingle of the tiny bells that hung from reindeer's harness. A reindeer pulled the sleigh down towards the bright lights. You know that Santa Claus you see at the department stores and on street corners are my special helper too, said Santa. I cannot get to every place in the world at the same time. Santa was once again wearing his red hat with a pom-pom. Michael handed him each present as he moved swiftly through doors and windows and scrambled down chimneys, taking presents to the sleeping children of the United States. The reindeer turned the sleigh to the southwest across the wide Pacific Ocean. I could do with some cake and a glass of milk, said Santa. This work is making me quite hungry and thirsty. Michael smiled to himself. High in the sky again Santa pointed to the sparkling stars. There's the Southern Cross, he cried. I use those stars to guide me to the children of New Zealand and Australia. They landed in New Zealand. Santa smiled and said, New Zealand is also called the land of the long white cloud, said his special helper, who then helped Santa fill the socks and pillowcases of the sleeping children of New Zealand. They put the big presents carefully on the floor at the ends of their beds. Just enough time to visit Australia and then take you home to Great Falls, Santa said to Michael. It was quite warm when they landed. Without snow, the reindeer moved more swiftly across across the ground. Australia should be easy, whispered Michael. Many children put their names on pillowcases pinned to their bed ends. Santa moved so quickly in and out of the houses that before Michael could blink, he had finished. Back in the sleigh, Santa peered into his almost empty sack. Now I wonder who these presents are for, he chuckled as he lifted them out. The Christmas angel sprinkled some stardust on the presents and they disappeared. And now, said Santa, it's time to take you home. Michael stayed awake for as long as he could. As the dawn light grew in the eastern sky, his eyelids grew heavy. Soon his head fell dreaming into Santa's elbow, which was soft and warm, just like a pillow. Santa turned to his helper and whispered, "It doesn't really matter how children get their presents or whether they have chimneys in their homes. It's the message of love that comes with each present. That's important. That's the important thing." The sleigh sped through the pale dawn light, taking home one special little helper before returning Santa to the North Pole. On Christmas morning, Michael awoke. Was it just a dream? He ran to the mantelpiece. The glass was empty, and on the plate only a few crumbs remained. But best of all, next to the Christmas tree, were presents for Uncle Jason, Aunt Tia, and Grandma, and Michael. And on each present was a tiny sparkle of stardust. The end. Merry Christmas, Michael. And Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you for joining us tonight for tonight's reading. Remember, comment to win this book.